there is only one thing that I would have done differently when it came to building our Barndominium. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to take some time to talk about us living in our new house and if there was anything that I would do different. And we've been living in our Barndominium now for about 10 months and I love our home. I don't have any regrets, even though we worked so hard and we did so much work ourselves, being our own contractor. The whole process itself, I really don't think I would change very much. And I actually get asked this question a lot by people I know. A couple people online have asked, would I do anything different? And to be honest, there is only one thing that I can think of that I would do differently if I had to do this whole process all over again. The only thing that I would change is at the very beginning part of this whole journey is I would have paid to get either like an architect, like professional plans drawn up by an architect who specializes in barndominiums, or did a little bit more research and found plans online for a barndominium that were already drawn up. Instead of me drawing them up myself. Now, I wanted to draw my own plans. I wanted to be like the one, I designed the floor plan. It was just, I knew what I wanted and how I wanted it to look. And, putting it on paper, I had so many drafts of us, so many different things. Are we going to have a small house? Are we going to have a large house? A 2-story, single story? So many things. I think I probably drew on my grid paper maybe like 30 different floor plans, or just changing little things at a time until ultimately I landed on the floor plan that we have now. And I'm going to show a picture real quick of our floor plan that I drew. Besides wanting to have like control of the floor plan and like what I want, I had a vision in my head. But the real main reason why I drew the plans ourselves is because we were trying to do our build as cost effective as possible. Because when we were building in 2021 and 2022, construction prices as well as home prices, they were very high. And so we were trying to stay under a certain amount with our budget when it came to building. And so that is why I figured, I was like, well, I can save money because I can draw up floor plans myself. And I did. I drew up the floor plans myself. And my layout is fairly close to what I had originally drawn. And I'm very happy with it. But the reason why I would, like, if I had to do this all over again and I had to go back and have either the plans already drawn or someone else do it, is because I think that by having those plans done by like someone who already specializes in barndominiums, it would have made the process go a little bit more smooth when it came to building our home. Whenever you're drawing the floor plans, there are codes and regulations whenever it comes to building a house. The rooms have to be at least, a certain square footage in order to be considered a room. There has to be, so much space between walls and a toilet or the center of a toilet. There are so many rules when it comes to building. And that was something that took a lot of time on my end whenever I was drawing up the plans, just trying to figure out, okay, hallways, they need to be at least a minimum of 3 feet. But here's the thing, whenever it comes to barndominiums, that I did not really consider whenever I first started drawing out my plans. I didn't think about the beams and how much space that was going to take away. And then also the framing on top of the beams. And then you have the drywall on top of that. So that is all space kind of taken away from your floor plan. And, whenever that happens, it makes things not fit the way that they should. And so what I'm going to actually show you today is, with our home, because of some of those things that I didn't consider, there are a few, I guess you'd say, design flaws whenever it comes to our home. But for me, they are very minute, not a big deal. And I'm fine with it. I can live with it and I'm happy with it. But some people, they might not be happy about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around our home and I'm going to show you the different areas where, these little design flaws are because of my inexperience when creating floor plans and just not knowing. So here we go. I already just briefly mentioned about the space, the beams along the outside and, how much space off the wall with the beams and then the framing and the drywall. This is the sizes of our windowsills. And I brought a little tape measure to show. They are about almost 11 inches from a windowsill. And our cats obviously love the size of our windowsills. But that is space from all the way around the house that is taking up square footage in our home with all this space. We're here in our kitchen and the beam came right down the middle of it and we couldn't change because of where the plumbing and everything was. So we had to create this little box, this framed box to go around that beam. And unless I pointed it out to you, at least trying to zoom out just a little bit to show. But we don't really pay attention to it. And so since we're here in the kitchen, I'm just gonna talk about another little design flaw. Again, all because of space. When I drew it out, I had the layout of my kitchen cabinets and how many I needed and the size. There was originally supposed to be some space on the side of the fridge to store, oh mamma mia. To store, brooms, mops, whatever. But because of the lost space, we had to basically push this fridge all the way to the wall pretty much. And the other thing about this is we had to build this little, again, this size because we had to pull our fridge up from the back of the wall so that way we can, open our doors. Because if we had it pushed all the way back, the doors were not able to open. So we had to pull it back from the wall. And so we had to put, again, we just put this little thing, board, I don't know, just to kind of block that space to prevent things from falling behind the fridge. So the next area of our house, we're now looking at this is our back door and our laundry room, mudroom / area. Now, for this design flaw, when I first originally created my floor plan, I did not have it gridded out by feet, and it was a little bit more difficult to understand. And so when they put up the metal framing, this back door was actually supposed to be over a couple more feet over here. And we decided, and the reason for that, why it was supposed to be a couple feet over here, is because this laundry room was supposed to be enclosed. It was supposed to be able to have a door to shut it, to hide all the ugliness of, a laundry room. And it was also going to hide our electrical box because we don't have a garage. So that was the original plan, but because the door was installed, you know, a couple feet over, we made the decision, instead of, you know, it would have taken longer, we decided to just alter the floor plan a little bit, which my daughter kind of benefited because that means that she got to have a couple more feet into her bedroom. And we decided to just turn this into a big mudroom area. And so, yeah, I mean, I wish it, you know, was kind of closed in, but really, it has not been a big issue. And I kind of actually prefer it open like this, because I think if there was a wall here, this would have been a very narrow hallway and just a little bit more difficult, I think, just getting in and out. So I do actually prefer the openness. And I think Mia does too. Mama Mia, come here. Now we're outside on our back porch, and I wanted to have a nice big back porch. I never had one before, and so that was something that was very important to me. And I had plans of having like ceiling fans out here, you know, just a nice space. And it still is a very nice space. We have all the dimensions that we wanted, but we did not know that instead of just like extending the roof line out, we did like a lean-to. Well, a lean-to, you know, only like it goes up so high. But let me just show you the problem. Problem is that it angles this way. And so here I am touching, I'm 5'5". I am touching, you know, the ceiling of our lean-to over on this end. Now it's taller over here, but because of that slope, we were not able to put ceiling fans up because it would have been too low and probably would have knocked one of our heads off. So that's another little design flaw that we didn't think about because we didn't know. And last but not least, the last design flaw that we had is because we had to shift around the floor plan a little bit between my daughter, the mudroom, and our son's bedrooms. Their window is like flush to the wall over here. Now it's not against code, it's fine because it's not blocked, you're able to get out of it, but that's just showing, you know, it's just right up against the wall, which for us, not a big deal. I mean, that's it. That's a little quick tour of some of the design flaws that I think would have been prevented had, you know, we had professional plans done from the beginning. And like I said, to me, they're very minute. I can live with them, and I am not bothered by them. They do not affect my day-to-day of anything. So I am still very happy with this house, and even if things happen the way that they did, I'd still probably do all the same things. But if you are starting this journey of building a barndominium, this is something that I would really actually consider putting in your budget, if that's the step that you're on, is looking for a professional or purchasing plans that are already drawn up, designed for barndominiums, you know, to consider, you know, the beams and all of the things that are just not, you know, normal with a normal house build. So that is the video for today. If you have any other questions, I'm always happy to answer. I hope everybody has a blessed day. There is only one thing that I would have had done. And so now we're outside on our back porch. Pardon all the craziness out here. We are doing a little bit of work outside. The main reason also why I drew up the floor plans ourselves is because, or myself, okay, cut.